Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got two replays in the German Tier 7 Premium Medium tank, the Krafts Panther. Now this is another one of the Halloween tanks that you can earn in the Monster Hunter earn-up that's currently going off. And as a tank, it's okay. It's one of those tanks. It's basically the Tech Tree Tier 7 tank, which is the Panther, but it's got a worse turret, so its turret armor's I think like 20mm of thickness worse. And you have 10 meters worse view range, and you have worse engine power. So you've got like 170 horsepower less, I think it is, which gives you a way worse horsepower per ton, which means you're not as mobile as the Panther. The Panther can hit its top speed a lot quicker than you can, but you have a 0.3 base accuracy instead of the Panther's 0.32, but also your accuracy during turret rotation is 0.5 worse than the standard Tech Tree Panther. In terms of the gun is exactly the same. Obviously, you've got 198 penetration on the standard AP, 244 on the premium APCR, and you still have that 55 km/h top speed that the Panther has as well. But like I say, you are much worse getting to it. That 10 meters of extra view range loss as well is also a sad thing, because it just means you can't quite get your view range anywhere near as high as the Panther, because the Panther has 380, which is what a lot of the Tier 8s are having at that point, so that's pretty nice for the Panther. But for the Krafts Panther, which you'll see in here, 370 is... It's not bad. You can still get it up to 484 meters of view range with the setup I've run, but it's still a bit like, oh, you know, that's the way I feel with it anyway. You do have that 2.3 second aim time on this gun, which is a little bit long for the 150 alpha that this tank has, because I always feel like if it's got this sort of alpha, it should probably aim a little bit quicker than it does. 2.3 can feel like a bit of an age at times for the tank, which, yeah, it's one of those things. It's got a 4.6 second reload as well for that 150 alpha, which can get down to a decent amount, as you've already seen in this replay so far. I don't know what it is about the Panther. I don't particularly enjoy it that much. And I think it's always because I enjoyed the VK3002M at Tier 6, which did the exact same job as the Panther, and it just felt way better tier for tier. Less alpha, but your mobility was better, your armor was basically the same, which meant that it dealt better at Tier 6, you know. The gun handling on the 3002M also felt better than it does on the Panther, because for some reason this 75mm gun for me it feels like it likes missing shots, which can be a little bit annoying. Plus the muzzle flash that you're seeing there, the muzzle flash is another thing for the Panther. It's absolutely huge. If you're aiming and you try and see where your shell goes, you just saw it there. I think they called it gun smoke, but it's actually a muzzle flash. You saw it there. You have no idea where your shell goes whatsoever. So sure, I'm hitting those, right? But I cannot see them, which makes it a bit of a pain for shooting at range. Because if you're shooting at distance, you won't. And you miss, you won't see how far off you were in missing, right? If you get my saying. So you don't quite know how much to adjust at times. Yeah, the muzzle flash is one of those ones that's really annoying on this tank. It's really annoying on a fair few tanks as well. But you've got to bear in mind that the muzzle flash is actually worse on this too. But yeah, the 150 alpha, the lack of armor that the tank has, and being such a big tank and how easy it is to pen, it just means that you are a target a lot of the time. People go, oh, Panther, and pen you, and you sit there crying as your armor means absolutely jack diddly squat. I'm just not a big fan of the Panther. I mean, let's say, again, for the Monster Hunter ops, there's probably way better out there to pick. So in terms of recruit, what do I run on the Krafts Panther? Well, I run Born Leader, Rapid Reload, Sixth Sense, Trap Mechanic, Situational Awareness, Steady Aim, Snapshot, Run and Gun, Camouflage Expertise. Camouflage Expertise to make the camo as good as possible. Well, just to make the camo a little bit better on the tank. It doesn't have very good camo in general, so I just want to try and make it a little bit better on the Panther. All the gun perks, because this gun, like I say, even though you do have 0.3 accuracy, likes to miss, so I try and make it as good as possible and try and reduce the fairly bad on-the-move and turret dispersions that this tank has. And then Trap Mechanic, which is something that you probably could think about dropping on a Tier 7 medium, but I take that because you are such a big tank and your tank takes hits all the time. You get tracked so easily in the Krafts Panther that I want to make it just get the tracks back on quickly. And in terms of equipment, I run the Advanced Loader, Vents, and Optics. Vents and Optics to make my view range and everything about the tank as good as possible, and the Loader to make the DPM as good as it can be. You could swap out Vents for like traction system, anything else really, it's up to you. But yeah, we finished that first game with 2 kills, 2.5k damage, 481 assistance. The first class, second on the team, 1387 base XP. A pretty decent game for the Krafts Panther, a pretty average game really. Showed what the Krafts Panther's like, right? Where someone goes in on you, they are going to pen every single shot on you. And you do have a decent rate of fire, but it's still like... Yeah, I don't know, people, when they have like 240 alpha, they start to just cut you up, and then you feel like you're just slicing them every so often, and when the gun starts to miss as well, yeah, it starts to rack up the misses and stuff, and it's a bit annoying. I don't know, like I say, I'm just not a big fan of the Panther in general. Like, don't get me wrong, the Panther 2, Panther 88, and the Panther 88 is nice as well because it's got preferential matchmaking. You know, the Panther 2, Panther 88... they're decent because of the alpha, you know, because of the rate of fires and stuff like that. And then obviously get up to the E50, and the E50 is a whole different ball game. But I do quite like those for the alpha, and you get to this, and you've got this low alpha of 150, and I'm a bit like, I kind of wish I had more, you know? I don't know. I'm not a big fan of tanks with low alpha anyway. But that being said, we're on to the second replay. And the second replay, we are on this map, which is Serene Coast. And on Serene Coast, we've taken a snipey position because realistically, that's what the Panther wants to be doing. The Panther wants to be sitting back, using its pretty damn nice gun to good effect, and keeping itself away from the fight, because it's not really a brawly tank, because as I've stated before, the armour is poo, and you will get wrecked pretty easily if you get too aggressive in it. But if you take these sniping positions, as you can see, and you start to let the gun work on targets, you can start racking up damage pretty quickly. Although, it still, like I say, it likes to miss shots. And this is where I'm saying at range, where the muzzle flash, or the gun smoke as they call it, can be annoying. Because I'm firing at that Vanguard, I have no idea where that shell went. Before the muzzle flash is gone, the shell trace is already gone, the dust it's kicked up from missing is already gone. I have no idea where I hit, so it just basically looks like you're missing. Or, but actually, to be honest, it looks like you're not firing the shell whatsoever, which is one of the reasons I hate the gun smoke when you're in this fully zoomed out mode. In a lot of tanks, actually. Which they did say that they reduced, which, after the update they said they reduced it, which was just before Tank Fest, there was a fair few tanks that did get it reduced, but it just all seems to have come back with a vengeance, which is kind of sad. But anyway, we finished the DA there with one kill. With one shot. Finish off the DA there, put us up to 1100 damage with 2 kills. Just looking to see if I could get a shot at the hammer, but I want to try and get over towards the cap and help out the team there, get rid of the medium tank, because once we've done that, we can look at trying to push round towards the guys that are sat at C1, C2, because they've not really sent too many people to the cap. They've sent quite a lot round the other way, so if we clear the cap, we've got a beachhead to then push round down the B line and behind the enemy team. So as we're pushing along the open here, we spot, well, the A44 gets spotted and gets absolutely wrecked. We're going in after this Comet. Now a Brass gets spotted over there. It's like, okay, they're all starting to slowly but surely get spotted. Okay, well, we'll try and see if we can get a shot into the Brass. We can't, but we do get a shot into the side of the Comet's turret. And it's like, okay, you know what, we're just going to go after this Comet. And really, it's a bit of a mistake because we're just playing a trading game at this point. He's always going to get shots into me. But thankfully, my friends are starting to come in, which means he's got distractions. We're going to take the whole of his health. And that was terrible. That was a terrible, terrible shot from me. And the P43 didn't finish him off, so which meant we took another shot there from that Comet. But we did get to shut down the Comet. We're up to 2k damage. And we're loading the APCR, because 198 pen is, well, it will go through the 110's lower plate, but the premium rounds will guarantee it, and I can pen the cupolas with the premium rounds, and I can also, if he angles at the wrong, well, if he angles at a wrong pace, wrong bit, he goes at the wrong angle, English is hard, if he goes at the wrong angle, I can actually pen his upper plate too with the premium rounds. So you can see we're sniping his cupolas here, making sure it's fully aimed, and we shut down that tier 8 heavy tank. Up to 2.2k damage, and that P43 turret gets shut down by that guy. We go for the lower plate, and we ended up hitting the upper plate somehow. But we do shut down the Stem Tiger P. Once he'd fired at that P43, we knew we were going to be able to... that Vanguard. Oh, that's brilliant. Anyway, yeah, once that Stem Tiger had shut down that P43, we knew we were going to be able to kill the Stone Tiger in, like, we're going to get a lot of shots at this guy. Now the Brass coming in, we can kill him in one shot, and thankfully we do. We shut down the Brass for our top gun. The Vanguard's still running around in circles behind us, and we're still trying to get the shot into this guy. It's just not working. But finally we get a shot into that Vanguard. Again, I can't see where my shells were going. I had no idea if I was getting anywhere near to close, but yeah, there we go. We get a shot into the side of the turret of the Basante there, which damaged his ammo rack, which is a terrible thing for a Basante, because, you know, the Trashante's reload is absolutely dreadful at the best of times. But he started looking at us. We're at 2.9k damage with 6 kills. We've got the top gun. I want more, but yeah, trying to deal with the Trashante is going to be a bit of a problem, because he can kill me in 2 shells, and he does have 3 shots in a clip, which means I have to be very, very careful. He fires at us there and misses. Doesn't really matter when you fighting a Trashante, because the Trashante will still have a second shot. And again, if he decides to dump his whole clip, which would be a terrible thing for him, he will probably kill me. But the heavy tank is starting to run into him, and there is a light tank towards the cap, which I was thinking of possibly going for, or possibly going for shots at the medium tank. But with this heavy tank going in on the Trashante, I decided, you know what? Okay, I'm going to go try and help this guy out if I can. I've got to get over here. If he decides to drop his whole clip, I can actually farm the whole health of the Trashante quite easily. And he has dumped the clip, so I'm like, yes, I can farm the Trashante. But we capped. So we ended up capping, and we ended up finishing the game with the victory. Top of the team, 6 kills, 3,055 damage, 217 assistance. Ace Tanker, the top gun, and the 1,869 base XP. A really nice game for the Crafty. Could have been a little bit better, but hey ho, we take those. And yeah, that's the Krafts Panther, the tank you can earn again in the Monster Hunter earn-up. Would I recommend getting this tank over a lot of the others? No, I wouldn't. I'd always say this is one of the last ones you're going to pick over a lot of the tanks that are out there. So as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.
A great success!